Today on the Tom Kelly Show podcast, I am going to be BSing with my old friend Steve Berger, who is from the highest rated episode of the Tom Kelly Show podcast. Plus, he's a special effects guru and TikTok star on his own, and I'm glad he's... No, oh yeah, we're exaggerating, but let's start the show anyway.
The Tom Kelly Show! Everybody, I want you to go to the Tom Kelly Show. I want you all to know.
And then we're going to play the little fancy theme music. Which theme music? We want the guy singing?
I love the guy singing.
All right, guy singing it is.
When you don't have the guy
Well, okay,
singing.
wait, really? Wait, hang on. Here we go. Let me start the show. Trigger warning, spoiler alert. Folks, I do not have any sugar. This podcast is sweet enough. You are experiencing a last-minute good friend edition of the Tom Kelly Show. I'm here with Steve Berger. Steve, how would you describe yourself as why you are relevant to my audience?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not at all relevant.
No, so today we have an irrelevant sidekick, an irrelevant guest, but I had not done a podcast in a while.
I'm your highest rated person. So
you are.
Maybe I am relevant.
Do you know which episode do you think you did that made you the highest rated, most relevant guest that I had?
Ghost Mall?
The Ghost Mall. Now we could argue that people tuned in to see Steve. Or they tuned in to see an empty mall. We'll never know for sure. I guess this is the test.
I'm going to say it's me.
It is you. I'm going to say it's you too, and I'm just checking your mic. Now, for songs, you like it when we play. Do you like when I do the theme song?
I miss when you don't have the old guy singing.
Do you like the old guy singing?
I love the old guy singing.
You don't get sick of him?
No.
Now,
I can listen to that a million times.
You could.
Yes.
You could. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to press the button. There's a button in there, but I'm not going to press it. Well, we're going to put it in post. See, I find I get a headache listening to him sometimes. So, folks, this is the first thing. So this is a housekeeping episode of the show. We are celebrating National Women's Month.
Okay.
Yeah, are you?
Didn't know it was.
It's National Women's Month, and I think today's show actually airs on March 8th, which is National Women's Day.
So what do you do to celebrate National Women's Day?
So...
Get your date canceled?
Yeah, don't do... Oh, fudge. Okay, so we got to tell everybody what happened. So, first of all, I had a date for tonight. I don't know if she's listening.
I'm the backup.
Yeah, you're my backup plan. So I went on a real... So I'm on Bumble. I'm on a dating app, and I matched with somebody significantly younger and past my barrier for younger.
But the girls like the older men now.
She seemed to be the only one. And the hard part is, as I'm actually...
dad bod.
What's that?
You got the dad bod.
I got dad bod, and I'm actually wearing this outfit. I'm wearing the outfit I wore on the date last night.
That's gross.
It is gross, but I took it off. It's my nice outfit in case I was going to podcast. Like, it's a nice outfit, right? So, God bless. I wanted to go out with her tonight when she was in my neighborhood, but I happened to be in her neighborhood anyway last night. And I said, I'm going to go by this comedy show, Butter Boy, in your neighborhood. She says, I'd come to that. I'm like, well, I wasn't hoping for you to come to that, but okay. And she came, and she was sweet. She was nice. I wasn't sure if it was because I was running around in the last minute. It felt rushed. But I was kind of at the same spot she was. But then when I asked her to go out when she's in my neighborhood tonight, which was my original dream, because she's going to the opera tonight, she said...
And what were you going to do? You have plans with her?
I was going to have a drink with her and then let her go to the opera by herself. Is that wrong?
No.
Yeah.
For first-ish date, that's fine.
Yeah, hey, you're here. Let's do that anyway. And anyway, she sent actually, it was kind of even nicer than a Just Friends text. I haven't got one of these in a while. Usually I just get ghosted. But she sent the text, which is how everybody should break a man's heart. She said, you read it in a girly voice, that one. Oh, and yeah, put on your reading glasses. Put on your peepers. Yeah, as I sip my coffee.
I had a nice time, but I didn't necessarily feel a romantic connection. I feel like it's better to be honest. Definitely wishing you the best and hoping you'll find what you're looking for.
I'm going to be honest, it's more hurtful in your voice. I feel like
it's a little more condescending in my voice, isn't it?
It sounds like she's...
read it yourself.
Yeah. When you read it, it sounds like she's mocking me and talking down to me. But anyway, and I kind of felt the same way. I wouldn't have minded hanging out with her, and it's funny. It was just nice. This is awful, but it was nice to go out with somebody who didn't want to date me. Like, it was kind of nice. Like somebody pretty and somebody I wanted to date, but not necessarily. I wasn't trying too hard. I didn't go for the kissy. You know, I didn't. I was a gentleman. And yeah.
So what was the date? Drinks?
She came. So I wound up paying for her. It was a quick drink, and then I wound up paying for her and me to go to the comedy show. I could have gone for free by myself.
So you paid to go in to work?
I paid in to observe work, yeah. And it was a good show. Like, I'm trying to, as we were talking about kind of before the show, is I'm trying to broaden myself artistically. So I'm going to shows that in places that I don't really even know exist. Like when I go to LA, I'm ballsy. Like when I go to LA, if I'm on the road, I will go to the comedy club and say, "Will you put me up?" Balls to the wall. In Manhattan, they all know who I am, and they decided, like it's just
decided long ago.
If you want new experiences, you have to meet new people, and you have to go to new places, and you have to knock on new doors. So I'm sniffing around new doors, and even to improve my art, I'm like the club I work at, the LOL Comedy Club, which.
Times
Square, touristy. That's a great place to practice my crowd work. At the show I was at last night, nobody really talked to the crowd. So it's a place to look at where can I develop new muscles? Where can I make my comedy more about me and less about them? And that's why I went to Brooklyn last night. And it was nice to have a friend to go with. And it was really fun to drop her off in Red Hook, Brooklyn, which is kind of like the old neighborhood by the docks that now, where all the poor people used to live who worked on the docks. I just love saying the docks, by the way. Like, I had a job. My dad had a job on the docks. And anyway, that was nice. So for International Women's Day, yes, I had a date canceled. So thanks, women. But I stopped by the iHeartMedia office today, the iHeartRadio, iHeartMedia, whatever the name of the company is this week. And it was just packed with women. It turned out they had like a giant Celebrate Women's conference. Not only did I see all the women I work with, but they were all like done up. And I'm realizing that's probably not the day to flirt with women at work. But I would like to, folks, if you have a women's conference at your job, like when you start freelancing again, though I guess you're working again in April. You're done for March.
Probably.
Okay. But if there were a women's empowerment day, I would like to be your plus one. Because I think those are the women I want to meet. I don't even want to say this in a creepy way, but I'd like to meet a woman who's smart.
Empowered women?
An empowered woman who got things going on. Like I have a stand-up joke about the women I'm into. That I tend to fall for women who don't put up with men's crap. Lesbians. I do, and if you look at my dating history, at least 3 of the women I had strong feelings for turned out to be gay. And again, I fall for taller WNBA types who are questioning their sexuality. And usually after 3 dates with me, they have their answers. That one was for the TikTok, by the way. Did you notice my delivery was stronger? Yeah. I didn't want to step on you. What were you thinking, Steve?
So, but the tall women don't like your short kings or...
Yeah, I got called on that one, Steve. Oh my God, I forgot to hit the timer on this, on the show. So it's weird. So I had, this is the smartest thing I've said in therapy, is I said to my therapist this week, 4 years ago when I started therapy, I was working at, Good Morning America and a couple of other TV shows. And I was going to therapy to complain about my boss and real human beings. Now I go to therapy and I complain about algorithms and computers and the AI overlords. I complain about the TikTok algorithm. I complain about Instagram, where I know I'm shadow banned of some sort. And then even on the dating apps, like everything there's a computer algorithm judging me. But for whatever reason, the AI overlords are connecting me with women lately. And also, I changed my height on all the dating apps from 5'10" to 5'11". Matches are connecting. It's happening.
So you're 5'10".
I'm not 5'11". I'm 5'10" and change. And anyway,
good enough. No one's bringing out a tape measure.
And here's the thing. Well, Shauna from Queens is. So I have a joke on TikTok that I did with Shauna Christmas, where we were debating short kings, the conversation you're bringing up. And so I matched with this blonde woman who's pretty. She's wearing big glasses. And I don't want to make fun of her. Let's call her hot for the sake of the story. It makes the story better. She's hot. I can nitpick. Anyway, she says, hello, like message 1. Then I reply, hey, thank you for matching. Then the next reply is, I know you're a comedian and all, but is everything a joke to you? I'm like, well, and we were talking about this before the podcast, that people sarcasm doesn't translate on the texting machines.
Without a doubt.
So and I'm like, wow, I can't tell if you're joking or not, but I find I actually am very serious sometimes that I'm a comedian because I struggle with hard moments in life and depression and other things. And then she goes, well, you lied about your height. And I know you lied about your height, and I'm 6'1", and being tall is important to me. And I just replied, well, I don't know. I guess maybe we're not the right match then. I'm sorry, And then I started writing the meaner reply, which was going to be, and by the way, at your age, maybe we should be a little less picky.
Ooh.
Or our age. I was going to say our age. And I might have also then had a couple of things about her glasses and what. Anyway, luckily she hit on match, and I am the better man because she got out while I was still up here and getting ready to stoop to her level. Yeah. So anyway, the algorithms have been kind, that's the excitement with me there. But for Women's Day, I was just going through the Women's Day thing. All the women. I found this interesting, and this is an old-fashioned radio conversation to have here, is the women were dressed up. And I came to this thing of, I feel like straight men, old-fashioned heterosexual men, they dress up to impress women. Yes, yeah, right? Okay. I feel like straight women dress up to impress other women. Yes.
Correct.
Gay men dress up to impress everyone.
Correct.
And lesbians don't.
Correct.
I mean, again, that's the old-fashioned, stereotypical, blah, blah, blah joke of whatnot. But anyway, that thought came to my mind because I'm like, geez, all of these women are really dressed up nice to impress the bosses. I'm sure the bosses were there and other women. And then what was interesting, too, was I was talking with Ben Rio Negro. Ben Rio Negro, a retired firefighter who is working in facilities at iHeartMedia. He said, interestingly, that the office, I usually go to the office when I need a quiet place to work during the day. I'll go in the late afternoon. Because I feel like when I'm working here, the lighting is dim and I get creepy. And then if I go to any of the Starbucks or cafes I work at, there's food. So what I've been doing is I found a place next to the little coffee machine at the office, and I'll just kind of sit there and listen to other people talk and whatnot. And he said the poppin' days to go into the office were, he said Wednesday was the biggest 2023 day to go into the office. Like, do you find when you're going into offices, he said Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday were the days people were going in.
I haven't been in an office in 3 years.
Well, then watch how much we edit out of the show there. Okay. Last topic for this podcast then. Okay, but he talked about, have you ever, the office also has a
I
Keurig.
do remember the office.
Do you remember the office?
Yes, there was a time when I went in the office.
I met you in an office.
I remember the office, yes.
Do you miss going into an office?
Yes.
So, but you also commute an hour to go to work.
If I go in the office, yes.
Okay.
So it's a double-edged sword.
When you don't
I miss not seeing people and not working with people.
Okay, so I miss seeing people, but I don't miss seeing the people I used to see, especially in radio. Like, I mean, it sounds awful, but I love the people I work with 3 times a year and by email.
The other good thing about working from home and not going in the office when freelancing, when starting a new job,
right,
and not knowing anybody, it's really awkward and sucks.
Yeah.
So I don't have to deal with that.
So I like going in and not knowing anybody because I can make small talk with the people who seem lively. And then I can not make like I'm not getting pulled into office drama because I'm not close enough to the black hole.
Yep.
So like talking to this guy, Ben, they have a lemonade machine. And the machine you put in the packet, just like a Keurig, it will make you lemonade. It will make you iced tea. And it also makes Arnold Palmer's. And then he told me that, have you ever heard of a John Daly?
I think so.
It's an Arnold Palmer with vodka. And apparently it's from another golfer. And it's from another golfer who used to golf with Arnold Palmer, and he would put vodka in his.
Yeah, he was a famous.
Was he a famous Is he?
Famous drunk golfer.
Okay, do you know who I'm talking about?
I know
okay,
exactly.
So that's a John Daly. I would love to name it a Tom Kelly. What would you name a Steve Berger? Actually, geez. You must have, I can't, I know I'm not the first person to ask you this. What would be on a Steve Berger? Has anyone ever asked you that before?
Ever asked me that before.
Your last name is Berger. You don't get asked that all the time?
It's just the burger. It's Steve's Burger.
Okay, what would be on a Steve Berger? Lettuce?
No, cheese and Russian dressing.
Ugh. And that's why nobody's asked you that.
There you go.
All right, what else? Magic.
I do get tons of email for Steve's Burgers in Hammett, California, because somehow I got on an email list, so I get all these restaurant suppliers and sometimes catering orders to my .com email.
Hilarious. And do you reply?
Usually not, just because
it's been done.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you can edit out that email.
Why?
I don't want a bunch of people email me.
No, in fact, we're leaving it in. We're leaving it in. I want to leave that in. Yeah, by the way, we're not editing this show. I got to air it in 3 hours. But and we're going to leave it in. Folks, shoot him a note. In fact, spite him now by putting him in. But real question here is you're going to get, your son is doing, tell them about what your son's doing.
My son's in film school.
Right.
And this summer he's shooting a feature.
A feature film. How long is a feature film?
150 pages.
So that's 150 minutes,
150
roughly.
Minutes. It's pretty talky, so it'll be a little shorter. Like action.
Okay, there's no fight scene to fill a few pages?
Scenes. It's a love story.
Okay, and what is he doing on the GoFundMe?
He's doing an Indiegogo.
Okay, gotcha, raising money.
Raising money on Indiegogo.
And that means, so he's raising money to do a film this summer.
Yes.
It's a romantic movie. And what I love about this, the link will be in the show notes if you want to give him a buck or two. In fact, only give him a buck or two, confuse him, make him work for this.
Hey, if everyone gives him a buck or two, I'm sure he'll be happy.
But what I found interesting about your son doing a movie in college, we're in this age of doing TikToks. Honestly, I do this podcast hoping I'll say one 15-second funny thing to put down as a TikTok. And your son's doing a feature-length movie, and I think that's something that should be encouraged.
Yeah, my son's a cinemaphile, so he likes movies.
Well, is he on a list?
Whew.
I love me sometimes.
So he likes movies. He likes going to movies. He likes going to the theater.
And then suddenly, is this going into a defense fund? What is a cinemaphile? That's cool, though.
So he doesn't want to see movies die. He's not into short form TikToks and.
Whereas me, folks,
he wants to make a feature film.
And the difference between me, the artist your son is, and me, who I am, I will pander to whoever is willing to be pandered to. And while I'm pandering, let me do the magic mirror. End of the show here. I think we're at about 20 minutes. I know you said you like long-form interviews when I do the podcast.
Yes.
Actually, what do you like about the Tom Kelly Show podcast? Quick. What do you like, and what am I doing wrong? Go.
Oh, boy. Put me on the spot there. What I like is I like your midlife crisis angle.
Okay.
Of trying to figure out your midlife crisis.
Did you notice how his voice has gone up an octave, people?
Did it?
Just a little bit.
And I like your long form.
You like the long form interview?
The long form interviews.
How long do you think an episode of the Tom Kelly Show should be?
The last one was, 45 minutes?
You think I should be doing 2 45 minutes a week? Do you have enough time for me then?
Yeah, I listen to you walking the dog.
Okay.
So.
Folks, again, we're always playing with the format. Tell us what you think. But right now, magic mirror time. I want to do a special shout out to my friend Joey Cola, king of all warm-up comedians, blah, blah, blah. He knows how great he is. My friend Joey Cola loves to point out that when I do the podcast and I air the promo clips on social media, that I'm always with a beautiful woman. Well, Joey,
Here I am, Joey.
I invite, maybe I'll do one more podcast with him. We'll talk about that later. But right now, folks, listen, if you're on YouTube, comment. If you are the kind of person who's listening on one of the Spotify's or audio podcasts, share it. Comment where you can comment. Share love where love can be shown. And folks, new episodes of the Tom Kelly Show podcast every Monday and Wednesday on YouTube and your favorite on your favorite podcast app. Maybe I shouldn't do another podcast. I'm getting tired. Folks, anyway, you know what to do. Thank you guys. And
Let me put my plug in.
Yeah.
My son's Indiegogo.
Oh, yeah.
Just search Strangers to Strangers, Lex Burger. So it should come up.
Yeah,
You'll have a link.
or better yet, it'll be at TomKellyShow.com in the show notes. What is it? Stranger to Stranger?
Strangers to Strangers.
That's a good name. That's
Like
where.
that?
Yeah, I actually like that. I like that as a name.
Yeah, so it's a love story from beginning to end.
Wow.
Strangers to Strangers.
Way to end with a mic drop. Good night, New York.